Today we're going to teach you how to read a nutrition label like a boss. You don't need to be Indiana Jones trying to decipher some sort of puzzle. It's really not that complicated, especially the way we're going to break this down for you. From that black line up top that says amount servings all the way down to the bottom of ingredients, okay? Now we're going to keep this really simple for you. This is a basic 101, but it's something that gets you into action faster. First thing you want to do is look at your ingredients. The ingredients are important. The first one listed is the one that's going to be the most in quantity in the container. Whatever jar that is or bottle it is, that's going to be the one that has the most of it. The last ingredient listed is going to be the one that has the least amount of. You want to do your best to be able to identify every ingredient on the bottle, whatever container it's in, be able to identify it. Mono, poly, and whatever, yellow number, whatever. Not that those aren't necessarily bad, but you want to do foods that are whole foods that you can identify. If it says tomato puree, you can pronounce it, right? So just be very mindful if it says mono, poly, blah, 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 blah. All right, so next up. So what you want to do is right here below those solid black lines, you're going to notice that it says like vitamins, minerals, calcium. Ignore those. Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to tell you that, but they are notorious for underrating everything that's in there or maybe not being completely honest. So I'm not trying to say they don't matter, but when we're just reading a food label, we're just getting started, you want to make this as simple as possible. And it's going to say thiamine, it's going to say vitamin C, it's going to say magnesium, it's going to say all these things. They're known for being inaccurate, so don't become too married to it. So at the beginning, I'm a big fan of maybe ignoring that, unless it has like a giant list. This has 3 things, and 2 of them are 0%. So why? Just to fill space. Next up, you want to look at the serving size. The serving size is one of the biggest pitfalls. Tip number 2, pay attention to the serving size. Why? Because that fancy packaging that looks oh so smooth, it's tricking you. And what do I mean by that? Because sometimes it will say that it only has 100 calories and this, that, and the other. You flip it over and you're noticing that the total package has 2.5 servings. They know what they're doing. They do. But we got the number and we're going to show you how to fix it. We can give you some workarounds. Pay attention to your serving size. So for this peanut butter, it says 2 tablespoons. Everything that you're seeing on this nutritional label is based upon this serving size, not the total contents of the container that it's in. So be very careful with that. Sometimes you can eat your total intake of salt without realizing it. So if you're eating, 4 tablespoons of this, you got to double all these numbers, which is really easy to get high in your sugar, high in your carbs, high in your fats, or high in whatever it may be. Depends on how you're tracking things. So watch the serving sizes and also watch to make sure how many servings are in each container so you can track things. What I'm really looking for is the trans fats. The trans fats have been linked to so many health risks. So make sure that your trans fats say 0. I know a lot of people are aware of that, but make sure of that because it can get really sneaky and it's actually a little sketchy sometimes, so keep an eye for that. Now with fats, everyone's a little different. I'm always letting people know that experts are saying 50 to 80 grams in a day, but work with, and that's not a solid number for everybody, but that's a good baseline to start, according to what a lot of experts are saying. Pay attention to the fact that the percentages of what that's based on a 2,000 calorie diet. Now sodium is a slippery slope. Why is that? Because they're recommending 1,500 to 2,000 or 1,500 to 2,500, depending on a few factors such as gender, where you are in your life stages and different things like that. But be very mindful of sodium because remember, this serving size is based on 2 tablespoons. Now, if you're eating 4 to 5 tablespoons at a time, maybe on a peanut butter sandwich, maybe on some crackers or whatever it may be, you could easily overshoot your sodium. And sodium is important, don't get me wrong. It's going to give you a healthy thyroid amongst many other things. But for some of us who are watching our sodium, myself included, because I am not exempt from life, I'm very, very mindful of my sodium intake. And you could easily well overstep that without even realizing it. So keep your eyes open. Now, this next section on the nutritional label is going to be the carbohydrates. This one is one that I really hope everyone's really paying attention to. If there's anything I want you to watch in this video that really stands out, it's going to be the carbohydrate section. Why is that? Because there's some really valuable information there. It's going to have a breakdown with the fiber and the total sugars. So why is the fiber important? Fiber is great because that can give you the sensation of feeling full longer. Well, you actually are full longer. And it also is going to help out your body, help out those bowels, that GI tract. So fiber is a good thing. You gotta watch how much sugar that you're getting in a day. It is so easy to overshoot how much sugar that you need in a day. And these things get into your bloodstream just like that, just like that, just like that. And what happens is it's gonna spike your insulin levels and the next thing you know, it's gonna come crashing down. And it's kind of similar to when you have candy and you're feeling good, and next thing you know, you feel sluggish. Now, lastly on the label, you're going to be seeing the protein. Protein is not just because you want to lift weights, but just like fiber, protein and fiber help you feel satisfied longer. Therefore, you won't be as hungry, and you won't be hungry as soon. And it kind of staves off a lot of hunger because it's like your body's like, man, I love this. Let me take a few minutes to break this down. It also promotes lean muscle growth. Now, why is that important? The more muscle that you have, the faster your metabolism is going to be. And as we get older, every decade, we start losing a few pounds of muscle, which is one of the reasons why our metabolism starts slowing down. So make sure that you are eating your protein and make sure you're getting enough protein every single meal, roughly 20 to 30 grams max per meal, because you can't take all that protein in or any of these ingredients in, any of these nutrients in great amounts and then one entire meal. Make sure that you're spreading your nutrients out throughout the day, just because your body can say, hey, this is a good pace for me, I can absorb this. We want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. You could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here with us. We have a couple of really great videos we want you to look at, and we can't wait to see you next time.